What is going on, everyone? It is Will again from Will Talks Disney, and we are back with another video. Today, we're having another video, and it's on my never-ending case to show you what the parks are like virtually through these reports, even though I am stuck here in Western New York because I can't go to the parks. So, if you like my videos and you've viewed them in the past, let's Mickey-fy that like button, subscribe in that red box angle, rectangular, smash, like, you know what to do. So we're going to talk about Epcot. We're going to talk about the crowds on the weekend. Is it still worth it to go on the weekend? What is it like? Let's go through this Disney Tourist Blog article and let's find out. So for those of you who can't tell, I like Tom Bricker. I love the work he does. He has an awesome website. So if you like what I'm doing, go to Tom's website at disneytouristblog.com and check out his great stuff. Again, we're going to go through a photo review here of Epcot. Stay away on weekends. I think in the past, it's no secret that Epcot during the festivals can get a adult type attitude around park. From people doing around the world to just people trying to have a good time and relax. It can tend to go a little bit too far. So what we're going to go through today is how does Disney balance being a company that has to make money financially while also being socially responsible in their parks and still having it be a fun atmosphere for all. So when Walt said he wanted to build a place for everyone to enjoy together, is Epcot pushing that too far? I know personally, my family, we probably wouldn't do Epcot during a festival season on a Friday or a Saturday night. If I was with my wife and we wanted to just go around from booth to booth, grabbing a drink here or there, yes. But I don't think we would go with young kids. So let's see what it's like. Let's dive in and let's go right here. So again, this is why I love these articles. They've got great photos. As you can see, the path coming from into World Showcase into the Mexico Pavilion. It doesn't look too bad. It's starting to look more and more like we've seen before in the past, kind of with normal crowd levels. So again, we're going to go over some strategies, some different things like that. Again, we've done a previous video on what Magic Kingdom crowds are like. So if you want to check that one out, I'll put a link right here and you can see what the crowd levels are like at Magic Kingdom. So again, we're going to go over what Epcot is like in the parks on a weekend. So, as bad as Magic Kingdom may have seemed, it wasn't as bad as we thought. And here we're going to see that there's a big contrast between even a weekday and a weekend, and that the crowds are worse than they appear or when they were expected. So again, we've seen this strategy here before. So Disney will post a 40 to 60 minute wait time into things like Journey to the Imagination, Let's Go Figment, Seas with Nemo's and Friends. I can never leave that attraction. Less than an hour and a half in there with my daughters. But the wait times are actually 10 minutes or less. I don't really like this strategy. I don't know if Disney is psychologically trying to get people to skip rides or stay out of pavilions by doing this. I'm not really 100% certain. But again, with the extended queues, things obviously look like they're longer than they actually appear. And then, so as we get here, you can see Mission Space in late afternoon. There's no wait. So the crowds in the morning tend to be in Futureland. I mean, you've got all of the bigger rides. So you have the Land, and then you have Spaceship Earth, and then you go over to Mission Space and Test Track. I mean, Test Track's always going to have a line. It's the best top two attractions with that, and Soarin' and Frozen, so top three. But from a thrill side, it's the most thrilling ride, so it's always going to have a line there. So in the morning, it's going to be busy. But as you can see in this article, you come to Mission Space, and by the afternoon, it is starting to get lower and lower. Again, in the afternoon, as you can see in the Land Pavilion, not really too many people there. So if you can get into the future world into the afternoon, it's probably your best bet because there isn't as many things to do. And I'll mark it down in the video. Advice and a good strategy here. So you rope drop Test Track before bouncing immediately to World Showcase. you do Frozen Ever After, and then you backtrack to Mexico, and then you work your way to the front of the park. So while everyone is trying to go to those rides in the beginning, you hit Test Track because you know it's going to have the longest wait, and then you head over to Frozen. You're probably going to wait a little bit, maybe between 30, 40 minutes, and then you come back towards, so as everyone's finishing up the Future World and heading into the World Showcase, you are zigzagging, so you're zagging when they're zigging, and this is what you really want to do on your Disney trip if you're trying to optimize crowds the best. So again, Test Track on this day was particularly long, just because if the ride goes up and down a lot during the day, it's going to just be, I mean, people, if it's going down, people are going to want to go away, then they're going to come back and they're going to want to do it. So on this day, it went down and up, and then it was posted 90 minutes, and it probably was accurate just because people have that pent up demand. Okay, and then there's switchbacks, and then if you even know that Cool Wash area, so I mean, that line with the social distancing is very, very long, just from a physical standpoint. So again, here's Flavors of Fire, which they've got some good food there too. And I just love, and this is why I love Tom's articles. I mean, look at these beautiful shots. He's a world-class photographer that is long-winded like me, and knows how to write really well. So again, as you start going into World Showcase, 15-minute lines into all of the different marketplaces, with people congregating inside of your Mexicos, your Canadas, your Frances, and things like that. So again, this is what we were just talking about earlier. In college, I drank and did things like that, and was young, dumb, and stupid. I think we all were at one point. But now with kids, it's not my scene really either. As you can see here in Canada, everyone's still spaced mostly apart, so it all looks good. And again, I don't really judge people. I start to get upset when people are affecting how other people are enjoying a vacation. So if you're having a good time and you're keeping it in your little spot, you're being safe, you're wearing your mask, you're stopping, getting away, sipping, and going, you're good to go. But when you're starting to invade other people's safety and other people's space, that's when I start to have a problem with people. Just because everyone's in there to have a good time, don't let what you're doing impact what other people are doing. Again, if you have a choice, be kind. And again, I think, and again, here he says congestion is heavy: Canada, Mexico, UK. One of my favorite places to grab a beer here is at Rose and Crown. But again, it's going to look a little bit different now with social distancing and things like that. So mask compliance, when people are drinking, they're not being the smartest. It's probably not as good as a normal day. When people get drunk, they start, even just a couple of beers in, they stop listening, they stop caring as much. And so I really feel bad for the cast members that have to go in there and tell the folks to put on your mask. It is such a, I don't know, it's an awkward position for just, especially the cast members. So again, as much as the crowds were there, as Tom says here, it's nice to see a lot of people in the parks spending money. Obviously, we had cast members still furloughed. We just had 28,000 cast members get laid off. So more people in the parks spending money. It's a good thing. We just have to balance everything, right? And Tom says here in the articles, even though there's a lot of people, he never felt unsafe. And this goes to your own opinion. Outside, open air, I feel better than being indoors. I know around here we have people that like to wear their mask below their nose. I don't get it. And just other things like that. Outside, it's a little bit of a different story. You're in the air. You're not in recycled air and things like that. And again, this is where he's saying he feels sorry for the crew that has to go and tell everyone to put on their mask. And again, this is probably the biggest point of the article. So Disney is trying to balance their lucrative alcohol sales and then paying the lip service to people to keep their masks on. So again, company that lost 87% of the revenue probably buys a beer for $1, charges someone $11 for it. So it's a huge markup, a huge moneymaker for Disney. But how far is too far? I think they're skirting the line but it's pretty close. I mean, again, if you don't like a lot of people around you, you can see the different scenes here. Mexico, there's a decent amount of people in the pavilion. Again, this is a complicated issue. Beautiful shot of Spaceship Earth here, where Disney is trying to balance gaining money versus having health and safety standards and not having too many drunk people ruin the experience for everyone else. So I don't know how they continue to do it. I would say if you look at everything, if you want to visit Epcot, maybe you don't go on the weekends if you're a family. If you're okay with that party style atmosphere, maybe you stay and do things like that. But it really comes down to your own personal choice. I can't tell you what to do or not to do. You have to do what you feel comfortable with. If you like that party atmosphere, if you like that festival, high energy, lots of things going on, just know there's going to be some people that are going to ruin it for others. There's going to be some people that take it too far. And then there's going to be a majority of the people that are just out there trying to have a good time. Yes, are you going to see not as high of mask compliance? Most likely people start drinking and the mask wearing just goes out the table sometimes for people. So overall, I think Disney continues to do a good job. Seeing people in the parks is always a good thing. If we want to avoid future layoffs or get people back quicker, we need people in the parks that are spending money. Overall, delicate balance. I don't know how I feel. But again, if you're prone and you do not like this type of things, avoid Epcot on the weekends. So if you like this video, make sure to Mickify that like button, subscribe, and as always, have faith, trust, lots of pixie dust, and I look forward to the next time we talk Disney.